day to you. Hopefully y'all are having a good day. I'm not probably having such a good day today because I think at your class time is about the time I'm going in for surgery. So if you could all say just a quick prayer that it goes well, that would be appreciated. Last week we talked about fractions, percents, and decimals and how to go back and forth between all of them. And today what we're going to look at is percents as proportions, so how to find percents of things with the idea of using proportions, because that was the other thing we were working on last week. So let's first look at let me see here, what do I want to do? Let's look at these different percentages. And we're not actually going to be modeling them today, but I do want you to see what it looks like. So if I have 50% of something, let's say this is my something, this rectangle right here. So right here would be 100%. So 100% of it would be if it was entirely full. Like if it was a glass or something that was completely full, that's 100%. So if I want to represent 50%, how full is the glass then? Well, you could answer me with it's 50% full, but that doesn't help me because that's what I'm trying to find. So another way of saying 50% full would be it's half full. So if I split this into two equal sections, so right in the middle, it's not quite right in the middle, but go with it. That means it's half full, like that. That's what 50% looks like. Down here with 80%, again, if I have a rectangle, or you can think of it as a cup, all the way at the top, so if I filled it all the way up with water, it would be 100% full. If I wanted to fill it 80% full, well, as an approximation, it would probably be like right here. That would be about 80% full if I had all of that filled with water. So that's what the percentages mean, but don't forget that it's 80% always out of 100% total. The 100% is the full amount that you're always looking for. So the full cup or the full pizza or whatever the entire thing is, that's always 100%. I only want 80% of the 100%. And then the next thing I'm going to have you do is I want you to write down the percent formula. Okay, so the percent formula is simply this. It's going to be a little confusing here for a second. Part over total equals percent over 100. And the percent over 100 part should be real familiar to you because that's exactly how we turned them into fractions the other day. It was always whatever percent it was over 100. This is the part that's going to be new to you. So we're going to write a proportion to be able to figure out what part of the total is what percent, and we're going to be filling in different spots and figuring out different things. So write that down, circle it, highlight it, do something like that. At any point in this, if you need more time, pause the video so that you can write down your notes, finish in. If somebody has a question, just go ahead and pause the video and that will be fine. And then restart it for the next one. So here we go. Write down the question. So again, if you need some time to write that, 80% of 25 is blank. Is blank. Actually, go back to that last part. I'm going to have you write something in here. So the percent in a problem like that is easy to figure out. It's the one that has the percent sign next to it. Okay, so that should be the obvious one. But the part in the total are the parts that are kind of tricky. So to help you, the total is going to be connected to the of. So of blank, that's your total if it follows the word of. If it follows the word is, that's the part. Okay, so that's kind of a trick to help you get these ones figured out. Is the part, of is the total. Because you always take percent of the total. That's why it's with the of. Okay, using that idea, let's work on this problem then. 80% of 25 is blank. So I'm going to set up my proportion. And over here it's always going to be the percent over 100. So I can fill in the 100. Right now that's the only thing I can fill in immediately. You should be able to pick out the percentage real fast. The percentage is the number that goes with the percent sign, so it's 80. But when you put it in your problem, it's 80, not 80%. So I got 80 over 100. There's part of my, half of my proportion, the easy part of the proportion. The other part is a little trickier. Now I have of 25. So since it's connected to the word of, is it the part or is it the total? I don't hear you. Just kidding. Of is the total. And since it's the total, that means it's in the denominator of the fraction. So I've got 25 is blank. So the part, that's connected with the is, so it's the part, that's the part that I don't know. So I'm going to put an X in that spot. I'm trying to find the portion of the total that I need to find. You could use cross product right away, but I would encourage you to simplify because this 80 over 100 could be simplified quite a ways. So I'm going to rewrite this as X over 25. You're never going to be able to simplify where the unknown is. So I'm going to leave that X over 25 equals, well, if you simply divided by 10, you'd get 8 over 10. And then each of those are divisible by 2, so you would get 4/5. And then that's going to be a lot more mental math work instead of calculator work. You can use your calculators, but if you don't have to, don't. Cross product would be 5 times X equals multiplication in the other direction. We get 25 times 4, and that's 100. Okay, last step, solve your proportion by solving for the variable. So we've got to divide by 5, which means X is, well, 100 divided by 5 is 20. So if we plug that back in up here to the problem, 80% of 25 is 20. And doesn't 20 seem like it's 80% of 25? Like it's pretty close to 25, but not quite. Okay, let's look at another one. Go ahead and copy this down. 44% of 375 is blank. If you could pause the video for just a little bit and see if each of you can figure out just how to write it. Only write it just in case you're wrong. But pause the video and write the proportion. Okay, hopefully you have your proportion written. This is what it should look like. So I'm going to set it up. And I'm going to put 100 underneath there. What goes over 100 is the percentage. And the percentage is the number with the percent sign. So I'm going to have 44 over 100. 375 comes after the of. So of 375, that means that's the total. Is blank, that means the blank is the part that I don't know. I'm going to put X right there. We could simplify a little bit. We cannot simplify the side that has the unknown, or the variable. Each of these are divisible by 2 though, so I could do 22 over 50. Oh, wait. Those are divisible by 4, aren't they? So I'm going to get rid of that. If you're going to simplify, you might as well simplify them as far as you can. So I'm going to divide them both by 4. 44 divided by 4 is 11. 100 divided by 4 is 25. So 11 over 25, now that's simplified. Okay, so let's do our cross product. X times 25, I'll write as 25x equals, and then we have to multiply this direction. 11 times 375. You should grab your calculators. I am going to grab my calculator. We have 375 times 11. 4,125. Make sure you got the same thing that I did. And then we'll solve the equation by dividing by 25. Now I just set my calculator down, but I'm going to need it. So 4,125 should already be on your calculator. Divide by 25. $165. And think about the percentage. 44%, that's a little less than half, right? And if you think of what approximately half of 375 would be, isn't 165 a little less than half of that? So always double check to make sure that they make any kind of sense. Like if I got 2 here, that can't be right. 2 isn't almost half of 375. Okay, so make sure that they make sense. Okay, different type of problem now. 150% of 74 is blank. Now it's set up just like it was before, except for the fact that the percent is bigger than 100%. So if the percent is bigger than 100, what do you know about 74? How is 74 going to compare with our answer? Maybe you know 150% is bigger than 100, which means my answer is going to be bigger than 74. So we're actually going to get a result bigger than what we think we should. So let's set this up here. I'm going to put 100 under here. Percent goes over 100, so 150% over 100. We just write that as a fraction. On the other side of 74, so 74 is my total, is blank. So the part is what I don't know, the result, the is part. These can be simplified a lot. So I'm going to have x over 74 equals, first of all, they can both be divided by 10. And then 15 over 10, they can both be divided by 5. So I would get 3 over 2. Once you've simplified that fraction, cross product, x times 2, so we get 2x equals 3 times 74. So 3 times 70 is 210. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times plus 12 is 222. Divided by 2. X equals, each of these divide by 2 exactly once, so we get 1, 1, 1. And just like we thought, the answer we got is bigger than the total we were comparing it to. Okay. Change it up completely. Now we don't know the percent. We have blank percent of 40 is 12. So the percent part of our proportion is going to be the part that we need to be able to figure out. So I'm going to do, here's my setup, here's my 100, but now the part that goes with the percent is unknown. That's my x, so I don't know the percent. And on this side, I got to figure out, okay, I've got two numbers, which one is the part, which one is the total. Of 40, that goes in the bottom, that's the total. Is 12, that's the part. The part connected with the is the part connected with the of is the total. Do not go by bottom number is bigger than top number, that does not apply. You have to follow the wording in the problem. This time my variable is on the right, and the fraction I can simplify is on the left. So 12/40ths, they can both be divided by 4. So let's try 4. That would be 3/10, which is simplified. Okay, so I can go ahead and do the cross product now that I've simplified what I can. I'm going to do 3 times 100, 300, equals, and then multiplication in the other direction would get me 10x. This time I got to look on this side because that's where my variable is. X is being multiplied by 10. So I'm going to inverse that by dividing by 10. X equals 300 divided by 10 is 30. Oh, I forgot one thing. What type of number is this? Hopefully maybe some of you saw it. This is blank percent. So in my answer, this is the only kind of problem where you need to answer with a label of some type. It's 30%. Make sure you put the percent sign on it because that's what I'm trying to find. Okay, I want you to write this down. Blank percent of 48 is 18. And then I want you to pause the video and work through this problem on your own. Hopefully you all have your calculators because I've been telling you repeatedly to bring them. Mr. McKeel, if they do not have their calculators, it is their fault. They should have one, especially after a 3-day weekend. You had time. Okay, so pause the video, work the problem, turn it back on when you are done. Are you done? Okay, let's start. Let's see what you got. So this is over 100. Blank percent, so the part over 100 is what I don't know, of 48 is 18. So that's what your setup should look like on your proportion. If your setup isn't right, something is wrong with you picking your numbers out of your problem. So ask somebody for help if you went wrong setting up your proportion. The only part I can simplify is on the left over here. And those are both divisible by 6. Did anybody see that 6 goes into them both? 18 divided by 6 is 3. 48 divided by 6 is 8. So I get 3/8 equals x over 100. Once it's simplified, we're going to go through and do our cross product. 3 times 100 is 300 equals, the other direction gets us 8x. No, I don't think this is going to divide. This is not going to divide exactly into a whole number. We are going to get a decimal, so grab your calculators, divide by 8. We're going to get x equals, drum roll please, 300 divided by 8 is 37.5. And how many of you did the last step of answering as a percent? So it's, I'm going to rewrite this because it's going to bother Taylor that I wrote this backwards anyway. So I'm going to say x equals 37.5%. And that should be the answer. Okay, let me see what else we've got left here. That's the same kind. Let's look at this one, only because the wording is a little bit different, the way that it's written. So it says blank percent is 39 of 50. So if you look back at our last examples, the words are switched around. It was usually percent of blank is blank, and the words were of and then is. And this time it's backwards, so you got to be careful that you write your proportion correctly. So let me set this up. Put the 100 underneath there, blank percent. Okay, so I don't know the number above the 100, I don't know the percent part. Is 39 is the part. So that's there. Of 50, so 50 is the total. 39 over 50. And I don't think 39 over 50 can be simplified by anything, because the only thing that goes into 39 is 13, and 13 does not go into 50. So I think we gotta use our calculators and get through this one that way. So 39 times 100, that you should be able to do. 3900 equals 50x. So that's not too bad. So far, so good. Solve for x by dividing by 50. So I get x equals, and then you're going to need to take 3900 divided by 50. If you want to be not have to type everything in, you could divide these both by 10 and just do 390 divided by 5. Either way, you're going to get the same answers. You should get 78. And again, we're looking for percent, so it's 78%. Okay, so that's the whole lesson. I'm going to give you the homework. Make sure you complete the homework. If you have questions, you're going to have to find somebody to ask. Ask Mr. McKeel. I know Ms. Tufts could answer you. Make sure you find somebody to ask. Any of the older kids could answer you as well. Your homework is on page 322, and you need to do numbers 13 through 14. All right. Have a great day. Have a great day. I'll see you later.